Hear ye all. Have you heard the news? Have you heard the grand news? I just come back sitting here in the silver chalice, and I heard that the Council of Illumina and such, and the Wizards Guild have put a large sum of power, glory, treasure to a mission. They've found some ancient texts. They've scried and found some artifacts that will help right the imbalance of the magic that has happened with Darzanon's release and the Dark Queen. They've come to the Unnamed Adventurers Guild and talked to Pincus and asked for heroes. And Pincus is putting out the cry across all of Arywood for mighty heroes, grand adventurers that are looking for glory, money, and honor to help rebalance the weave of magic that's been disrupted by Darzanon's entrance onto this prime material plane and onto this world of Arywood. Will you answer the call? The reward is great. The adventure and tales will be grand to be told about you. Bards will sing for days, for months, for years of your heroic task. And if you're successful, and if you survive, you will be heroes throughout Arywood, to be remembered and regaled. Will you answer the call? Will you step to the line? Will you show the might and arm that you have, the wit of mind to overcome the puzzles and challenges, the strength of heart to forbear the unbearable? This is the question. And they're sending, this is spreading out, and it's sending out in all of Arywood the request for this. And all the taverns and bards are singing of it. Will you come? Will you look to the post on the bulletin boards in the taverns and at the guilds, mercenary guilds, the wizards guilds of the upcoming world-changing events? Can you be of grand nature, heroic stature? This will be the question answered at the end of the day. Till we get a chance to regale over mead or wine and a good meal, may you all be glorious in your battles and answer the call. All right, we are live according to the little tile up there. Welcome one and all to another Unnamed Adventures adventure. Today's adventure is the road to Illumina. our mighty heroes were last seen in Ando Tryon, and they have met with Federo, the Unnamed Adventures Guild master up there in Ando Tryon, and he's requested a few heroes to get important intelligence information back to Illumina of the last couple battles. So Pincus and the guild could inform Illumina and get prepared for possible new threats as far as that. So as we're gathered up in the guild hall at Ando Tryon, Federo, you see, talking to Aylwin, giving him instructions that this is very important information that needs to get back to the guild. He hands him a sealed scroll, and also in a scroll case that is sealed with, and both those seals are typical wax seals with the seal that Federo has. And at this time, the environment around Ando Tryon is a lot of confusion. You have where they're trying to rebuild the broken parts of their defenses and their buildings and trying to take care of their injured. So at this time, we'll turn it over to Aylwin and to see if what actions and what direction he wants to take. Take it away, Aylwin.
So I just got this message, and I say I will get it there as fast as possible, and I go to leave, and I'm basically going to try and dash the whole way, which means for traveling speed, however you calculate it, the dash action makes me travel 100 feet and around, so however that figures out into travel distance time.
Yeah, and you'll know that trying that eventually will cause exhaustion on you, because it's normally about a 3-day caravan trip if you go by the road. Longer if you go out and about through the rolling hills and the savannah. But the choice is definitely yours.
Well, I'm not going to, run day and night. I just mean run for a while, then rest and run, because
Okay.
that will still get me farther than just plain walking.
Yeah, that it will. As far as that. So which direction are you taking? I'll pop up the map here.
So I'm just going to take the roadway.
Okay.
It's still the most direct line.
Yes, it's definitely the most direct. It's possibly could be a little bit more dangerous, but yes, most direct. All right. You're setting off at, let's see here, what time of day after everything?
Well, if it's evening, I try and wait until early morning.
Yeah. You're setting off, the time right now is about 6 a.m.
Okay.
in the morning. You have overcast skies. It's still a bit chill to the air, and the road is muddy and rutted as far as that, between some of the caravan routes during the winter time, where they sunk down into the softer mud in the roadway. and where some of the battle engines and such have crossed from the enemy on the outside. But as you start off, you don't notice anything menacing at this point. So, as are you doing anything particular as you go on down the road?
No, just gonna keep running, and then when I start to feel like I'm getting to a tipping point, I'm going to rest,
All right.
and then I'm going to start running again. Just
And what's your passive perception?
16.
16. Okay. All right. Let me get my eyes on here. All right. You get a couple hours out down the road. We'll say it's about 9 o'clock. We'll say several hours out in that morning, and you'll have a feeling on the back of your neck like you're possibly being watched.
I'm going to survey my surroundings to see if I notice anything.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
22.
22. Yeah, let's see. Okay. You'll think that off on the one rolling hill, probably 100 feet away, that you saw maybe a glint of the what little sun that's out there.
I'm just gonna keep moving towards the Lumina.
All right, and you're finding in some spots of the road you're not able to get the speed that you want because you're kind of slipping in the mud and trying not to bend your ankle in some of the ruts. But the clouds seem to be growing a little bit darker on your track.
Are those the spots where I have to slow down? Are those in patches or for long stretches?
They're in patches, maybe 30 feet at a patch. It's just where it was kind of natural lays for the water and was a little deeper from the snow and ice melt, where the ruts are deeper.
Instead of slowing down, could I try jumping over them?
Yeah, you could try jumping. Give me your strength roll.
Wouldn't it be acrobatics?
Athletics for jumping, or strength. If you don't have athletics, then it's just straight strength.
No, it's strength. I thought it was acrobatics.
Let's see here. Let me double check. I've been wrong lately. Let's see here. Everything switches or changes on me, but I'll let you go ahead. I'll let you use acrobatics. Yeah, that's you could do a tumble with acrobatics and stuff, and we'll go with that. Too easy. It's not a game breaker.
15.
15. And what would the DC for something like that be? Let's see here. Okay, you make it. it's about a medium difficulty as far as that for those patches. So you're running for a while and leaping over and catching yourself. The skies are darkening some, and you are about midday in your travels. Okay. And you'll notice a group of about 5 figures coming towards you. Which you would think at a slow speed as far as that.
How is my exhaustion level? Like, if I were to make myself around them, I would be able to keep going ahead of them for a little bit.
Yeah, give me a Constitution roll.
Natural 20, so 21.
Okay, so you don't feel exhausted at this time.
Yeah.
So you're going to try to stay ahead of them.
Are they come ahead of me, coming towards me, or coming up behind me?
They're coming perpendicular to you.
They're coming to the side.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to spend 2 key points to double dash 2 times. So
okay,
that gives me a total in 2 rounds. It gives me 300 feet.
All right, and you seem to leave them in the dust. As far as that. You're not looking back to see if they're pursuing or anything, right?
No.
All right. Okay. So you've moved on down. We've are moving this up to where you're about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Are you taking a rest, or?
Yeah, I don't want to exhaust myself, so I want to, take a short rest just so I'm not.
So you're going to have something to eat, some water during this short rest?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. As far as that. And
I have rations, and I have
Federal would have made sure you were supplied with rations and water for the trip.
Yeah.
As far as that.
Yeah, I have. At the start of the trip, I had 2 full water skins. So.
Okay. The clouds are getting lower and blacker. So.
Would I know this to be natural, or?
You would think that it is natural. With the way the weather has been for the last couple months.
Yeah.
It wouldn't look strange.
So while I was resting, I was still keeping an eye out for that, if anyone's going to come around to me.
All right, give me a perception.
21.
All right, you don't notice any of them.
Okay. After the rest is done, I'm just going to keep moving towards Illumina.
All right. And okay, you're going on down. You don't seem to be impeded any more than what you have been so far in this trip. It's getting dark or darker a little earlier because of the heavy dark clouds that are up. But other than that, it will.
Is it like no light or little light?
It's little light. It's think of a heavy storm cloud covering and coming in. It's blocking a bunch of sunlight, but sunlight still works some through. You're only when you left for your rest. It was only 2 o'clock. So we're saying you're noticing this about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, so I'd still be able to see with my dark vision.
Yeah,
outlines, no colors, just outlines.
Yeah, right now you really don't have a vision issue.
Okay.
It's just getting darker, storm clouds building on up. It's gray out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to take this point. As I'm going along, I'm looking for, like a tall, well-covered tree or something like that. Something that I can rest while somewhat hiding myself.
Well, right about now, let me bring the map back up and I'll. All right. Okay. You're just leaving the rolling hills, entering the Savannah Plains area, and you'll be able to find, we'll say, some low standing shrubs and young trees to take cover.
Yeah. If I find a good spot that I could hide myself well in, I'm going to stop and trance there.
All right. Give me a stealth hide check.
First, I'm going to look around before.
Okay, give me a perception.
I got 12.
Okay.
So since I don't really see anyone around, I'm going to take this spot to hide.
All right.
13.
13. Okay. Just
I'm going to use an inspiration point to reroll.
All right.
15.
Okay. All right. And you're not noticing anything at this time.
Yeah.
You go through your trance for 4 hours. It's about bring you out about 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. So.
And you don't have a fire going.
Pardon me?
I say you don't have a fire going.
No.
And you'll start feeling some
The cold
raindrops.
does. Just so you remember,
Yep.
with the cursed item, I don't really feel cold or exhaustion to cold. So.
Yep. But you feel some raindrops
Yeah.
starting on up. As far as that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
after my trance, I'm going to eat and drink some water and then continue on.
Okay. And let me see if you're on there. And you hear some armor as you're eating. You hear some armor sounds, some metal sounds, like someone slipped and hit a shield, like on their spear or something. A sound that sounds about 40 feet away.
Okay. I'm gonna dash towards Illumina at 100 feet for a round.
Okay. Well, you dash and can.
No mortal man besides another monk can keep up at my pace.
Well,
Not unless they're riding something.
there's they don't have to all the time, but they're they were there. You heard that.
Just a second.
Yep.
Must have been the wrong number.
Okay. So you're dashed off. What you say?
100 feet around.
100 feet around. So you're out way ahead of as far as that. Well, it's about 10 o'clock at night now with your travels for the first day, and the sky is pretty black. The rain has picked up as far as that. Even, well, yeah, you can still see fairly well with your dark vision as far as that. So onto that, it's not that. There's no moonlight, no stars though that are out. Just kind of like the reflection of the moon that's pushed through little cracks in the rain cloud. You gonna travel throughout the night?
Yeah, that's why I tranced earlier.
Okay. And you'll go on, and we'll say it's morning. As far as that, you're wet, you're cold from it, and like that. I would say a little bit uncomfortable, but I'll allow you to decide on that.
Oh, I'm still wearing. Well, I had a cloak on, so and I still had normal clothes on, even though I don't wear armor. So running in normal clothes is not exactly the most comfortable thing. But with the rainwater, I'm a little rashy, but it's not really anything.
Okay.
That's it's uncomfortable, but it's not really anything that's detriment.
Yeah, I'm not getting to that point yet.
Yeah.
So you run into the morning. It's about 6 a.m. again, on the second day, and there you have where the storm clouds are still over and getting a little more ferocious. You're seeing some lightning jumping between cloud and cloud up ahead of you. And you see the grass is standing fairly tall, but whipped over from the events of the snow on them, the rain and such. But it's standing up there. What are you doing?
I'm going to take a short rest just so I don't exhaust myself.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to make sure nothing got close while I'm just sort of casually looking around while I'm resting, so I'm not exhausting. I got a modified 20.
Modified 20. Okay. Let me see these folks. All right. You see, it looks like some big humanoid silhouettes coming up the road
Behind or ahead?
ahead. They appear to be in what you would think would be hide armor, and looks like some of them have some axes, and others some javelins and spears.
How far away are they?
Well, they're about. Let me see here. I'll do a 10-sided base. It's 30 feet from you.
Okay. So I have grassland around me.
Yep.
I'm just going to expend 2 key points to double dash in 2 rounds around them, so 150 feet around for 2 rounds.
How are you running around them is what I got to get in my mind right here with this.
If they take up the entire road where I can't get past them, I'm just going to go on the grass.
Okay, how far out? But my question is when you go around them, how far out and away?
Enough that I don't think they can get me if they lunged for me.
Okay. You're going to hear them holler as you start going off to the right. We'll say you go around them in the grass. You're keeping yourself at we'll say 60 feet away from them, which you figure because as you start dashing around, you notice that you got a little better look at them, that they're orcs, and so you're keeping that distance with that, and works. All right, you'll see 4 of them as far as that. And they're hollering at you, and they start to...
In common or in a language I don't understand?
in Orcish.
Okay. In a language I don't understand.
Yeah. And but you see that they come off the road and start pursuing towards you. As far as that.
As soon as I get most of the way around them, I'm going back onto the road.
Okay. And you end up seeing them. Yeah, their movement is that. So 60. Okay. You'll manage to get around them, but you're going to hear a couple javelins hitting the ground behind you. They came close, but they didn't hit you.
Yeah.
And you hear their hollers and screams just by the volume and the inflection. You know it's nothing endearing.
I'm just going to keep dashing. After the 2 rounds, I double dash. I'm just going to normal dash the 100 feet away towards Illumina.
All right. And you get going back onto the road. You don't notice much of any more pursuit coming after you. So it's still raining. The thunder and the lightning is picking on up. Seems like the closer you get to Illumina, the stronger the storm is at the moment.
With the greater speed I'm traveling at,
yep.
I would it's 3 days normal day travel. How is it a day and a half for me? I mean 2.5 days.
Well, it's we'll say probably about 2.5 because you've stopped and rested for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And some short rest in there.
Yeah.
But you are cutting, instead of the 3, about a half a day off the travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you doing at this moment? You've come back into the morning. You've ran away from the orcs. Are you going to stop and take some rations, or just
Yeah.
continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I don't see anyone close to me, then yeah, I'm going to stop. Well,
Okay.
well, I stopped. I'm going to look around.
You won't notice anyone around you. You're out on the open plains with the grass, the storm that you're seeing that's developed, the rain getting worse.
Well, I got a natural 20 on perception because I was already rolling when you said that.
Oh, that's all right.
So it's a 26
All right.
if there's any. So
No, you don't notice anything that's out there.
can I see Illumina from here?
Not quite at the moment. As far as that, you're still a little bit of a distance away.
Um, Before I took this short rest,
Yeah.
I used all the rest of my key points to dash, extra dash,
Okay.
and then I took a short rest.
All right. That shouldn't be no problem.
So, yeah, that gives me an extra. I traveled an extra 200 feet from that.
All right. And as you roll me a perception.
Well, I did. I got a natural 20.
No, this is another one after all this.
Okay.
You've gotten your short rest where you were able to take your rations and some water or warm tea, whatever that you desired at that time.
Yeah. I got an 18.
Okay, let's see here. What's there? Yeah, you beat them on that, and so you hear at about 100 feet out that you guesstimate some howls and multiple howls, and they sound like they're headed your way.
Behind or in front? Or beside?
Kind of beside, but not 90 degrees beside you, but like a 45. Not truly 100% behind you, but behind and off to the one side.
I'm just going to keep running towards Illumina. Try and get as close as I can.
Okay, and what speed are you moving at?
I'm moving at 100 feet with a dash. It's I have a base speed of 50.
Yeah, okay. And these, you continue to hear the howls, and they don't seem like they've seen, the howls seems more aggressive.
Yeah,
Like they got a
I
hard
know
set.
I'm not going to be able to outrun the wolves. I just want to try and get as close as I can to Illumina before I have to do something about it.
Yeah, and they're coming along. But you're staying at 100. They're staying at 100 right at the moment. So, but you hear the howls, the angry howls, and are you going to look behind?
I'll take a glance behind.
Okay, roll me a perception.
I got 11.
All right, they're not being too All right, you see about 6 wargs on your scent coming down, and you'll notice in the background there seems to be about 10 goblinoid humanoid figures behind them coming your way, up from that direction, off back to the right.
I'm going to
And
spend a key point to give me an extra 50 feet.
okay, how long can you keep that up?
I only have 6 key points, so I'm only spending one.
Oh, okay.
Because I get them back at every short rest, so.
Yeah, well, I'm not overly worried about that. I was just wondering how long you're going to keep up this speed.
Oh. Yeah. Um, uh, Overall, I was going to keep it up until um, I neared the point of getting an exhaustion level 2, but not getting second level exhaustion.
All right, give me a con check.
19.
All right, um, you're you're right about there. You feel uh, you definitely have 1 level exhaustion with all this, but you know if you continue on much further, you'll end up with even more exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point I'm going to have to stop. I
You're
can't
gonna
take the second level exhaustion because that cuts my speed in half.
you're gonna stop, or
Yeah.
are you going to just
Well,
go back?
pardon me?
You stopping or just going back at your normal pace?
Uh, just gonna go stop running, just trying to stop incurring the second level exhaustion. Just gonna go down to normal base speed
Okay.
and see how far that gets me.
That's moving you along, and you still hear the howls. You don't see the other figures as much,
Hmm.
but you see the wargs. It seems like they're keeping pace with you, not gaining, but keeping pace.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
So you continuing on your normal movement.
Yeah, I'm trying to get as close to Illumina as I can.
Okay, and they're on your scent. You feel that you're starting to have because the rain's gotten heavier, the road's muddier, the grass is slipperier. You're not moving quite as fast, but at the same time, roll me a perception.
14.
Okay, that's good enough for this difficulty. You notice that the wargs seem to be not gaining any closer to you, almost like they're having the same problems with the weather and the ground conditions.
Mm.
And let's see here. Let's see here. as you're running, and you notice that you can see the walls of alumina. It's getting about
Hey, wait. No, that won't. Would you say I'm in heavy rain?
yes,
Can I make a stealth check?
yeah.
Modified 20.
Okay. What are you trying to do? Just
Obscure myself.
okay.
So if someone tries to throw something at me, it's kind of hard to do because they can't really see where I am in the heavy rain.
Okay. And give me a perception check.
25.
25. Okay. As you're running down the road, and let me see here. Get his. Okay. And all of a sudden, about 10 feet in front of you, you see this big hairy beast standing in front of you. Let me get up to it.
I'm going to move around him and use a key point to disengage as a bonus action.
Okay. And what you see, it looks to be this bugbear with a shield and a chain shirt, and a really big morning star in one hand that was standing in the road looking about because he heard the howls of the wargs, and he started moving towards that sound of the wargs, and he basically ran into you, but he had that 10 feet, so you had the ability to adjust your speed, and you're able to outrun him. Basically, he'll dash after you, but you're going at your dash, so you'll keep about 20 feet distance between you. You still hear the howls of the wargs coming towards, but you're headed towards the gates of alumina.
Yeah.
And there's a crack of lightning that comes on down. And let's see here. Okay. And what's your armor class?
16.
Okay. You get hit by this crack of a lightning.
Isn't lightning dexterity save?
Yeah, but you're dashing.
Mm.
You're looking back, staying away from the bugbear chief and the wargs. You weren't overly paying attention to that.
Mm.
I'll give you a dexterity at disadvantage.
I'm going to use a key point to give me not key point, inspiration point to give me advantage, which makes it a normal roll.
Okay.
Which gives me a 21 dex save.
All right. And let's see here. So, So it hits just behind your foot as you're running. So you'll take a half the damage, which would be 21 points. Give me an acrobatics roll, dex save, whichever is better for you to stay on your feet.
Well, they're both the same.
Okay.
I got 11.
Okay. So you stumble and fall onto the ground, but because of your monkish abilities and whatnot, you're able to do a very shabby tumble and end up back on your feet, but you lost some of your momentum going forward. We'll say about 10 foot for that, and you still have
I'm going to use a key point to dash to give me an extra 50 feet.
Okay. You're leaving the bugbear behind. You know, if you turn and look, you notice that the wargs caught up to the bugbear and are leaving him alone, and almost like they're staying dead on your track or scent and headed towards you. And let's see, it's about, we'll say 7 o'clock in the evening now, where you've been running through the rain, the lightning, and like that. You see the gates of alumina in front of you. You see the fires of the watches up on the parapets.
I'm going to use the rest of my key points, which is 3 points, to over 3 rounds give me the extra 50 feet around.
Okay. You'll make it to the gate. It's still raining. It's evening. About, say 8 o'clock in the evening.
When I get to the gate, I yell at them, "Close the gate."
And they'll say, "Who's that goes there? Why
Unnamed
should I
adventurer."
close the gate?"
Because there's a horde of wargs and bugbears behind me.
Then you best get yourself on in here for protection. Alumina will protect you, the weak.
I'm not weak, I'm just outnumbered.
They all say that. The lowly guard up on there says that, trying to bolster his image to the public. You see street lights there lit up on the street, and the cobblestone are wet and slippery, but you hear a large crash come on down where the gate for the portcullis to drop. And then you hear down the line, "Gentlemen, ready, fire!" And you hear the twang of longbow strings carrying on, and you hear some whimpers and howls from the wargs as that goes.
Yeah, I'm going to make my way to the guild hall.
Okay. It's normal evening traffic. You got some of the shops shutting down. You got the taverns and the inns getting more lively, and the lights shining through their windows. And you'll make it to the guild hall.
When I get there, I say, I have information for Pincus.
Okay.
And
And,
I sit down and rest.
all right. And you'll have. Doggone, let me get his info. You'll have Riverwood say, hold on, Master Elwyn. I'll get Master Pincus, but let me get you some towels to dry yourself off. Come on into the main hall and stand by the fire and dry yourself and warm yourself. And
I drop my pack and I remove the cloak to dry off.
okay, and he goes off and gets Pincus, and Pincus comes on in, and he says, "Elwyn, what troubles you tonight in this awful weather?"
Exhaustion, the lightning bolt that hit me, and the pack of creatures that are at the gates.
What creatures?
The ones that chased me all the way from Tryon.
What creatures are those? What kind?
Wargs, orcs, bugbears, goblins, I think.
Why were they? Well, he'll say, I understand why they're chasing you, but was there any particular unique reason?
Because I have information for you. I go into
Ah,
my bag and I pull out the stuff
okay.
that
And Pincus open up, break the seal of Federos off the leather scroll case, break the seal off the scroll. He'll unroll it. He'll start reading it, and you hear him mutter to himself. He's saying, "Oh, this is troublesome, troublesome, troublesome. We have issues here. Haven't seen this kind of union before. Ah, my goodness," and like that. And he'll turn to you and say, "We'll have to get this information out to the council so they can get it up to their outpost and prepare. It looks like the Dark Queen has made some other alliances and plans to strike the city in a different way. We'll have to get our allies together and figure our best course of action. Take some rest, dry yourself," and he'll say, "and we have 100 gold for you for your grand effort for getting the message to us.
yeah.
This is
at
going to
the
be critical to saving Illumina."
at the hearing of gold, he really perks up and it's almost unnaturally. He says, "Really, I went through all that, going through in around all those monsters, and it's only really worth 100 gold."
100 gold is 100 gold. We appreciate your service to the guild and Illumina. we'll make sure that some of the local bards in Illumina hear about your trial and your run and the great
Maybe
deeds and great wit.
maybe they'll rename that trail Aelwyn's Run.
It's a possibility. I'm sure some will call that. As far as that. But get your rest. We'll need you for the upcoming battle.
Yeah, and I go to rest because I am thoroughly exhausted.
All right. Well, a little shorter than I expected, but well, anything particular you want to do while back in Illumina?
Just in bed. I'm just going to be running the gold between my fingers, just getting the feel of it.
All right. And Pecos is to say we've taken the 10% out of that, so you don't have to worry about that. And any outros that you'd like to give?
No.
Okay. I'll definitely go ahead.
I just want to say, I had fun. Definitely a little something different. Thinking of, confrontation isn't if I went into confrontation, I wouldn't win. So I had to think of how to avoid.
Yep. Well, there's always options, type of thing. So, I don't know. If you would have lost, it would have been definitely. If you would have chose combat, it would have been interesting. But
Aelwyn by himself couldn't fight 4 orcs.
Why? Orcs are only CR. What are they? CR and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a 7th level monk, you should have been able to. The wargs are only CR2. They would have probably gave you the worst. Bugbear was only a CR2. There was only one of them. And the goblins.
Well, their goblins are 1/8.
Yeah. And the other ones that were tracking you, you never got a good sight of them. They were CR1, a special type of kobold dragon shields. So, but everything was
also I was thinking message took priority over combat.
Oh yeah. As far as that, but we got the message through, so there's success.
Yeah.
And we can set ourselves up for next one with the Dark Queen and such. As far as that. But
kind of worked out that I was a fast monk.
Yeah. You work to the strengths of your character's abilities.
Yeah.
And the other creatures outside the wargs, if they would have got on you earlier and closer, they're the only ones that could have kept up with you.
Yeah.
Because their base movement's 50, just like yours.
Yeah. Mask of the Wild came in handy there. It allows me to hide and rain, forest, and snow.
Yeah. But there we go. I thank you for playing.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I
I know
finally remembered to use my inspiration points.
well, that's good too, because you needed them a couple
Yeah.
times.
And I still have one left, so.
Good. As far as that. And I'd like to give an outro here um, to the OSG and Drop Dice and the guys over there, along with Nerdarchy, that all kind of helped with this in the past. Infinite Roleplay for the work he did for on our world map, and just for all those that are guild members that come look at the admin suggested sites that we put links up on the guild page that are places we found for good information, and are also support the UAG and such. So with that, I thank you all, and I will stop the broadcast now.